thank you so very much for choosing to stay with us. And right about now, we are about to have a conversation centered about how we can bridge the gap of information when it comes to horticulture. And to help us do that is our esteemed guest, Okisegere Ojepat, CEO, Fresh Produce Consortium of Kenya. Thank you so very much for making time. We're so honored to have you.
Thank you.
All right, now jumping straight into the conversation, the gold feature we had today was on custard apple, ama matomoko, and the farmer was very passionate about it, and he also spoke about how he's one of the very few farmers who engages in custard apple, and the market for it is very huge, especially in China, the Indians. Now we're wondering, how come the information is not getting to the different farmers on the various opportunities they can explore in the space of horticulture, like things like custard apple?
Thanks for having me. Sorry, my voice is a bit hoarse, but I hope it clears as we continue. Information gap is huge based on who you are dealing with. If you're talking about the people who are doing export, then the people who have information are the ones that are exporting. The people who are producing must be producing for a specific off-taker or an aggregator. In this case, they're either producing for a consolidator or an aggregator who then pushes it to an exporter. Then the exporter then is able to export. In other cases, you have people who produce and export directly. So the information flow is both sides. If you're producing the apples, it's about what is the target market. If the target market is a domestic space, you will attract the domestic space players. And if you're producing the apple, are you producing it for the general market or a targeted market? So information can be availed, but information is availed based on how you want that information. Talking to the domestic market space, you produce. If you're one farmer, you have very little volumes. You may not be able to speak a lot because you are in charge of a few kilos. The best way to have this information is to have farmers work in farmer groups or cooperatives. Then they're able to consolidate together. Then passing information becomes easier. If it's extension, we have weak extension system in the country today. So getting that information go down to the farmer requires that the farmer is in a setup, in a farmer group, or in a cooperative, or in a space where that specific product is demanded. Not having an excuse, but it's also a challenge we have. We seem to be very biased towards specific items or products because, for example, in Kenya today, everybody's talking about avocado because there has been a bit of effort within those people who are within the avocado value chain to speak about it. I rarely hear you talk about flowers, which is part of horticulture, because it looks like it has matured. We have mangoes coming out from eastern Kenya today. There's so much going on, but it's known to the people who are exporting mangoes. And yet the rest of the country that needs to enjoy the mango do not understand the seasonality about it. So we have information gap, one, because we have, for lack of a better term, I almost will say a failed extension services. Since 2013, when devolution came, agriculture was devolved, and we expect to have an extension officer in every ward. And we used to have what we used to call barazas that will take place in villages. This does not happen anymore, and therefore people rely on internet. But I can tell you for free, information in the internet is as good as the person who put that information there. It is not always accurate. I hear people say, you'll have this tonnage, you'll have this carbon. Thank you. That is a story told by somebody else. What are the circumstances? So we could sit here and keep projecting of how much farmers will harvest and make money out of 1 acre based on internet, because I was talking at a demonstration site the reality of the matter is that we need to engage, and we must then be able to say, how do we work together to break this information from the extension services, if they are not doing it, from the local chiefs, if the local chiefs are not giving it, from the media as yourselves. What are we doing? What is the information? Then we are here as experts to be able to provide information on what is on demand, where can you grow it, when can you grow it, how do you grow it, and ultimately, where do you market it?
Okay.
Because it's also useless to grow if there's no off-taker.
Okay.
Then you come back here and say, we grew and they didn't collect. So it's two-way. It's all of us. So we have a responsibility, all of us, to get that information packaged together.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm not going to point fingers at a specific part, but the back starts with the Ministry of Agriculture at the ground level and the local administration.
Okay.
Namna unavyozungumza unataja sana kuhusiana kwenda kule chini. Ni kama kwako ni jambo ambalo limefunguliwa. Tutalifunga vipi hili kwa kupatia wale watu mawaidha namna ya kufanya kama kusukuma serikali?
From where I see it is a very simple thing. Number one, the government has put in all their documents, and I hear everyone in the leadership, including the highest office in the land, talking about agriculture being the backbone. It cannot be a backbone that you don't support. It should be a backbone that you also support it with the necessary budgetary and technical support that allows the information to go down to the last person. The way of unpackaging this is, one, I encourage every grower, however small they are, to form farmer groups and cooperatives to be able to consolidate their minds, their production, their marketing skills, and they will be empowered there. It's difficult to educate a farmer who has 1 acre or a quarter an acre. But when you bring them together, 40, 50, 100, or in a village, then we're able to educate them, because it's expensive to have one. The way the export market has succeeded is because we are structured in such a way that we will get farmers in farmer groups, or we will get farmers of a specific size. Depending on their size, we are able then to administer or take an extension services right to the ground. We have research institutions in Kenya, for example, KALRO. They are busy doing research, but nobody is dispensing the information. We have universities and institutions of higher learning, where a lot of information is brewed, educated, research happens, but this does not go out. So my humble request is to everyone who is within that space to go beyond writing information, but go out into publishing and distribution in a simplified way. Listen, agriculture is a science. I know people say it's an art. There are people who are used, we plant in maize in March, we're expecting long rains, we're expecting short rains. That is the story that was there. It's no longer the same. Climate change is real. Agriculture has a science of it, and we must respect the technical support. Can you imagine today if we got a little push like the Ministry of Health is getting in Kenya in terms of highlights? How much information will go out there? It just requires one pronouncement from the government and say, this is the situation. However, I also want to let you know that every one of us relies on agriculture, and I have a principle. I say, as long as there's childbirth, they shall be eating. And as long as there's eating, there shall be farming. And as long as there's farming, it means we have to keep engaged.
Right.
Yep.
Now, you have spoken about the extension services, and that's one of the things that the president during the Mashujaa Day said they were streamlining. Now, when you still spoke on avocado, considering the demand is really high, but there's still challenges, because you realize the way it's being transported, the way the farmers are packing it, it's compromising on quality. Zikiwekwa tu kwa truck hapo nyuma zinafinyana, they lose the quality they need to have for export. Are there regulations and policies put in place and that we are making sure our farmers are adhering to, so that we maintain our quality and standard?
There is one thing that is clear. that we have not, as a country, for long focused our energy in agriculture. We have given agriculture a lip service because it looks convenient, and for politicians it becomes a nice campaign tool. We will give you this number of seedlings, we'll give you this number of fertilizer bags, because it's an easy buy for for voters. The reality on the ground is there is saying we are streamlining and there is streamlining. Is it happening? Go to the county. The budget for extension is with the county. Show me today which county has employed extension services to the village level. Who of these counties today can be proud and say, we have put 10% of our budget into agriculture? Back to your question, when it comes to avocado, I don't know the last you checked, because we agreed this year that there is not going to be a pickup on the road with avocado. And if you have seen one, please, in the last 1 or 2 months, kindly let me know. We have agreed that you are not going to carry avocado like you are carrying chaff. It's food. We have agreed that avocado shall be carried in crates or washable containers. We have agreed that avocado will be transported using closed vehicles, where possible, refrigerated. Where not possible, most importantly, where we are going, we are saying, let's invest on cold chain infrastructure from the farm to the pack house, because from the pack houses we are somehow in control, because our products then pick from the pack houses with refrigerated trucks to the point of destination, either airports or the seaports. For example, we have avocado coming out from Mount Elgon, coming overnight or during the day. It gets into Nairobi, it's packaged in Nairobi, it's put in a reefer container, it's set, and it leaves for Mombasa. And within a few hours, you have your container in Mombasa. So this is happening, and let me send a message that there is regulation. Okay. What the problem has been, the enforcement of the very regulation, not that the regulations are not there. And this is squarely under AFA.
Okay.
Yes.
Tutarejea, utaendelea sana kwa haya. Sana nimependa sana namna unavyoeleza, lakini kuna wale ambao wafahamu ule utaratibu ambao umetaja, lakini tutarejea umueleze yule ambaye anafaa kuelewa. Tunakwenda katika mapumziko kidunya, tukirejea kungali kuna mengi, usibonyeze kidubwashi chako.